Okay, so what we're trying to do today is basically put some lights into these dead reflectors that Mazda decided not to put lights in. I think we're going to try and put like 3 little T10 lights in there instead of one big bulb. It is pretty shallow in there, but we'll take a look, see what we can do. Wiring, we're going to try and wire them all to one and wire it right to the license plate lights right here, which super easy, 2 wires, positive and a negative. Instead of wiring them down all the way through here, under here, to the tail light, which is a lot of wiring, you could do it that way. I'm just gonna do it super simple, get it right to there. Super cheap wiring diagram I drew up right here. Basically, just what I said. 3, maybe 4 lights is what I'm gonna try and do. Basically, I'm gonna have one light that's gonna be like the main wiring for the other 3. Wire the other ones onto it, then the one will go right to the license plate lights. Hopefully it's that simple. I don't see why not. Do it for the other side, so I can go right to that light. So they're not gonna be a brake light or a turn signal. You could have them that way if you wire them down there, but for my sake of simplicity, I'm just gonna wire it as a regular tail light. Basically nothing special. Everything you need, you're gonna need some extra wire. This is not long enough, those are like 5 inches. That, T10s, 6 maybe, and some of these clips is what you're gonna need. Simply, you just clip these on onto the wires. They just splice right in. No soldering needed. You could do it that way for a more proper connection, but I'm just gonna do it the easy way and see how that fares for us. So, easily enough, we're just gonna get right in here and start taking these out. So, upon closer inspection, we've only got 3 really large places that we can actually drill this into. That spot right there, way too small, not gonna happen. Some people suggested to me that I just put 1. Don't think that would work either because of the design. So I think just 3 goes right here, 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 and then that should be able to do it. And like I said, these will just pop right in. So I'm starting off with 5/16 drill bit. Not big enough, but we'll start there, see maybe if we can squeeze it in. If not, I'll go 1 bigger. So I've made some progress here. I've got her in, as you can see. There was a few steps to go. Started with the 5/16 like I said it was, and then went to 3/8. That is not big enough, not even nearly big enough for the plug alone. But once the T10 is in, it actually kind of expands it a little, like almost widens it like that. So what I ended up going with was a 1/2 inch. I would still recommend going 1, 2, 3, finishing off with this. That got it just wide enough for me to squeeze it in. Make sure when you put the LED in, it's all the way in. Otherwise it falls out pretty easy out of these things. Okay, so I've managed to get them all in there. You can see, well, they're not exactly flush in there, but they're in there enough for me. The only issue, you can see it like this, is that the T10s aren't really behind the reflectors, or like the reflecting, the diffuser, what we'll call it. They're not being diffused, so that little light there is going to shine right at whoever's behind you, which would be pretty annoying, I'm sure. But we'll see what it looks like when it gets in there. Maybe I don't know if I can really angle them up as such, but who knows. They might not be that bright. So what's going to end up happening is that I'm going to probably make this one like the main light. These 2 are going to go into this one. These ones also going to go onto the middle one there. And then it's just the middle one running all the way to the license plate light. A couple things to note. File. You're going to want to file down these edges, make them look nice and smooth and clean. When you're taking these out and you're test fitting, like I said, they're loose. Don't lose that in there. It's hard to get out. Vacuum up the inside, because it will get debris in there from all the shavings. And most important, well, not most importantly, but let's see if I can get them. There we go. When you're drilling in there, you'll probably hit the top of the reflector, as you can see I did. I did it on all three of them. It's not that important to avoid, because as you can see, it doesn't really show. It won't really make a difference. I hit the top part there on all three of them. But just be wary. When you're drilling down, don't go right into the back of the plastic. You're gonna hit the lens, which isn't ideal. You'll need to buy a new light. But other than that, it's fairly straightforward. Just take your time, and only took me like 5-10 minutes, and you'll be good to go. So here's the progress so far. So it took me a little while, but I figured it out. I couldn't use these. These are not the right size for these wires. So I just decided to quickly splice in, wrap the wire around, heat shrink it, and it worked out okay. I just need to electrical tape around it, make it nice and tight. But basically, positive, I'll connect it, all three lights into one. Negative, same thing. Just need to electrical tape it. And I'm gonna get the long wire, simply strip it on here, probably heat shrink it again. And then I've got these taps, which should be the right size to go into the license plate lights. So now, once you're done over there, you've got all your lights wired up and everything properly, you're gonna wanna start working on this. The license plate lights that I've chose. They've got this little rubber covering, little jack on here. That's not enough to work with. That little wire, probably not. You could probably work with it, but I decided to cut it back another couple inches. I'll probably do a little more, just so you've got a lot of play and a lot of stuff to work with. I'm gonna work on that one in a second, and then after that, put the light back in. Probably just tape it up to this little wiring loom here, down here, clip, and she'll be all lit up. If anyone wants a video on this later, I highly recommend doing kill mat to your trunk, not just the trunk lid, but like all down here and everything. I'll probably do inside the car as well, eventually. I find it really helps with the subwoofer, and the road noise especially, but the subwoofer definitely is a lot deeper when it can bounce off something in the trunk and not rattle the trunk especially. I've done it all up here too, well most of it. I'm gonna work on it more, but it definitely enhances listening experience and road noise. Alright, I've got it all kind of installed here. Well, properly installed anyways. It's all in there. This wire's obviously just going to be buttoned up there. I got these little T-clips on there. I hope they work. This one doesn't even... It's in there, it's just not... Yeah, sketchy. I'll work on them. Let's see what this thing looks like. Didn't get that side in yet. Hey, look at that. That almost looks factory. Wow. And you know it's not even that blinding. Huh. Well, I am impressed by myself. I don't know why Mazda didn't do this in the first place, but how that looks even better. So my original idea was to actually wire those up to the front fog lights. So when I turn on the fog lights, these would act as rear fogs, like a European car. But the wiring's too long for me to care. That would take a lot of work, and actually I think those look better, just as a regular tail light now. And they're not too bright, so wouldn't really work as a fog light, but hey, it's perfect. Yeah, I just thought I'd do a quick video here in the middle of the snowstorm on my way to work. Just of what these taillights look like at night. Definitely looks a lot better than the incomplete look I had before. And they're not even that bright compared to the regular taillight. But they're a little I guess, wider looking because of the white LED. But it looks pretty good. I like it. Yeah. Pretty solid. Got LEDs all around. I don't know if the wind is ruining this. Probably is. I've got LEDs all around here. Puddle lights. Yellow fog lights. See better in the snow. Believe me, it does work. Oh yeah. That's the stuff. Alright, I gotta get to work here. See ya.